Welcome to the Missive, a GURPS actual play podcast created and developed by me, your host, Brett Calhoun. Please note that this is a Cold War pulp fiction series that is reflective of its time that it is set in. Listener's discretion is advised. Enjoy. All right. So some more time will pass. At around 1900, just as the sun is beginning to set and concerns are building, you will see a very tired and beleaguered-looking Mike Meshach emerge from a corner and just like drag himself pretty much into the parking lot.
Mike, over here! I'll get out of the van and get his attention.
Yeah, and he'll give a friendly wave and walk over.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Well, I think I've walked probably around 10 to 15 miles today in the beating sun.
Please come sit down.
I guess
Have
the rain
some
was
water.
nice. Yeah,
Here's some melon and some water.
I'll
Sit
offer
down.
him my flask.
He
Stop that.
passes on that.
Yeah, we give him water and snacks.
And so he downs that gratefully. You can see that he's covered in sweat and rain. He looks fucking beat.
He's finished a 12-mile march.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And I mean, his weight is also pretty substantial because he's carrying a good deal of gear.
You doing good,
Did
Mac?
everything go okay? Were you able to get a boat?
Yep. Yes, I was. The fishing village was pretty kind to me. The elder remembered me, which is always nice. I guess I'm a memorable fellow. And after much bargaining and haggling, I was able to get a boat, I will say, and he'll dig into his pocket and produce a sweaty $50 and hand it and say, unfortunately, they wanted $400 for it. I kind of unfortunately gave myself away as far as how desperately we needed the boat.
That's okay. They need a fair price.
You did good, Mike.
Yeah.
I can show you where the village is. It shouldn't be too difficult to get to. It's pretty close by.
About how long do you think it'll take to get from that village to the prison area by boat?
I'm not a sailor. I'm in.
Or I guess if you were to drive the distance, like 5-10 minutes away.
Yeah, how many miles?
I would say it's probably be like maybe 45 minutes to an hour.
For a drive?
I mean, by boat and stuff. I mean, driving alone, but I mean, the roads aren't exactly straight shot from the fishing village and stuff. I mean, this village is out in the boonies, and that's saying something since this town is out in the boonies.
Did you
I have a question.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, out of character. What kind of boat is it?
It's gonna be a motorized rowboat.
Okay, so
like a pretty standard like fishing boat like that. I guess I would imagine like you probably have gone fishing in and on numerous occasions.
Yeah, so I was gonna ask, should I pick up
There's no
driving
cabin or
boats?
anything, just to be clear.
Yeah,
so there are GURPS, there is boating unpowered, and then there's boating motor.
Okay.
So just be aware of that.
Yeah, if you've boated like from fishing, you probably should have boating motor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So should I just pick that up now then?
Yeah, you could do that.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to make sure it was okay before I just like sent it. But I meant to bring it up last session, but
yeah, that's fine.
Did you
I would recommend if you have any aquatic background like your character does, I would probably at some point put a point in both boating unpowered and boating motorboat.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and slam her in now.
I may or may not have drowned people. Does that count?
No.
Did you guys want to start your journey before the sun fully sets, or are you gonna do the whole thing in the dark? It's gonna be harder.
I think we want to get there as closer to 1 or 2 a.m. as possible.
Okay.
Because we want them to be as unaware as can be.
Okay. How are you gonna find your way in the dark?
Should we go most of the way and set
Well, I think if you hug the coast, you should be fine, Mike says.
That's what I was thinking.
You'll just have to stay clear of the oil fields, but
yeah.
I mean that should be pretty simple.
Well, there'll be lights on the island probably too.
Yeah.
Oh, fair enough.
What kind of moon have we had lately?
Good question.
July 4th.
Yep,
1966. Yeah, what is the?
Oh, are you using the actual weather of the day back then?
I do not know.
Oh, okay.
Just because it's not easy to find sometimes, especially for Talara, Peru.
99.22% illuminated.
Ew, so almost full.
That's pretty
Or would
cool.
that be full?
Is the waning gibbous phase?
Okay, so it must just have started that.
It's we just passed a full moon.
Yep.
It's still be pretty bright.
Yeah.
Science.
For mechanic purposes, you guys will have flat -1s on darkness penalties. Everyone will. Just keep that in mind.
Are nods a thing back then?
Technically, kind of.
Yeah, I think so.
They
had night
were,
vision
but it's
scopes.
very hard to come from.
Is that something their military personnel would have?
Not theirs.
Jamie, you've been to this guy's camp. They literally are covered in
what they have.
lice and eat like.
Fair enough.
night vision devices at this time required like literally a backpack.
Night vision.
Okay. That's what I was wondering. Like, I didn't know how common they were.
Are flares and flashlights.
Yeah. These guys didn't have a radio in their guard area. They have a fucking bell that they ring.
Fair enough.
You walk in, you just see like
good things.
You just see the 3 sets of lights from like Splinter Cell.
Yeah.
Just pointed back at
Oh no.
Oh shit.
Yeah, Mel turns around and sees one's like suspended upside down behind her. You know?
All right. So
it'll be about 15 minutes before Mike's ready to roll.
Would you allow them to use your axe?
Not if you're burying it in somebody's body, no.
No, just to cut the bridge. Just to cut the bridge. We figured it would be the easiest way since none of us have like a machete or anything.
Give me a diplomacy +2. I don't know if Mike may not trust you all with your argument. No, we're just going to use it to cut the rope bridge, not, embed it in someone's face.
I mean, we might also do that, but that's not what we intend to do.
Bring it back covered in blood and just, sorry.
Don't even wash it off. Here you
go,
so bud.
So he will hand you the axe.
Thank you.
I do not have the actual weight statistics for that. Be aware there's also no loop or anything for it. Because, I mean, it is just a woodcutter's axe.
There's no loop or anything for it?
Like to put it on your belt or something like that.
Oh, okay.
No lube?
I thought you were talking about a lanyard.
Yeah, lanyard. Yeah, it would be. But yeah, it's literally just a very, very old woodcutter's axe.
Is it sharp?
Yes, it absolutely is. And I mean, you can see it has seen quite a bit of use. In fact, I think somebody actually, like, when they first met Mike, spent some time. Yeah. So you could tell that it had seen some use.
This is making sure he wasn't an axe murderer.
This has been buried in skulls before.
In Korea.
Right through the sternum of some Korean guy.
Jesus. But yeah, so Mike is like, I can take you guys there as soon as you want to go there.
Should we eat
Okay.
dinner first?
I
Yeah.
think, is it possible we could eat dinner in that village? Could we pay somebody for a meal?
Well, now I would suggest that maybe we just eat these snacks that we bought earlier today. Saves us time, saves us exposure, and well, it might be best to eat light.
That works for me.
Okay with that.
Real quick here.
I bought enough to share. I will break out a spread.
Okay. Yeah, because Mike was gonna say that. I mean, they had some food there, but yeah, they're pretty. It's a pretty impoverished area. But yeah, so yeah, he'll absolutely scarf down any snacks and stuff you have.
So we
And
wait till in the morning, or wait till midnight to start going, and yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
God, this van must be so smelly at this point.
Yeah, I also want to point out, Jamie, I just keep succeeding on your common sense checks. Thank God. Jamie, you remember that the military does night patrols in the town, and if you guys are parked in a van all sitting around outside of City Hall, that this may attract attention from the local authorities.
Maybe we should head
Yeah,
over there and
that's
just
why I
kind of
wanted
park
to
our
go
van
now.
over there, so we don't have to worry about those patrols that conveniently come around at night.
To the fishing village.
Agreed. That's
Okay?
Mike, would you mind driving since you know where to go?
Yeah, absolutely. I was gonna kind of insist upon it.
Da, 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 da.
And he will get started driving. And let's see, I guess for your guys' sakes on the map, this is off the map. This would be the fishing village would be kind of like maybe like all the way down here, like just on the very,
Okay.
very edge.
And we
And
need to get up
All the way up to the top, basically.
like here. Is it this little area?
yeah. No. I mean, it's the army garrison's right
it's
here.
up.
Remember, there's
It's
this.
labeled.
Yeah,
Yeah,
is this where the prison area is though, or I thought the island was in a
No,
different
like this.
spot?
I mean, the garrison is the prison area. So,
Oh, okay.
because
Okay.
this doesn't exist yet. Remember, this is
Yep.
a
No, I
long
thought
time
I
ago.
was thinking that the island was like further up here.
No, it's not that
And
far.
the garrison was here. Okay, cool. Well, that's good then.
So, yeah, so he drives pretty like knowingly. He seems to know exactly where he's going. And after some time, you guys are out in the country for a little bit.
just point of order, Brett. I did roll to sober up, and I am sober.
Okay.
For now.
For now, correct.
Mel is obsessively fixing her hand wraps on this journey.
Okay.
Like, very clearly distressed and getting more and more distressed. The closer we get. Not like a wreck, but just,
Okay. Let me see.
Frank begins to sacrifice a small goat and chant to Baal in preparation
Nice.
for the night.
Where'd the goat come from?
Oh, I am going to take out my
Want a
prayer
goat?
beads.
Don't worry about it.
There.
Can I have a goat?
No, but it's where the smell came from.
All right, so he then turns off the main road onto a very like muddy dirt and granite road. And like it gets very bumpy around here. And you guys are like kind of amidst a jungle-ish area now. And around like maybe a few minutes pass by. It's quite dark in here, like on this road. However, eventually, you guys come across this fishing village. You note that there's several shacks, wooden shacks around. There are let's see. It seems to be entirely like fishing seems to be their main thing. I mean, you see like there's some pigs around. There's some hay and stuff. There's like a few little like miniature farms, a chicken coop as well, and you do see plenty of chickens just freely roaming the area. You see some very haggard-looking Peruvian men and women who like have cigarettes and stuff, kind of milling about. Although it is getting quite late, so there aren't too many people about. However, as Mike kind of leads you through the village on foot, because you guys, the road does come to a stop right on the outskirts. So he will park at the end of the road essentially.
Okay. So is that where we part with Cal and Duncan? Oh, Mike's gonna lead us there.
Yeah, I mean he's gonna lead
Callan
you
and
to where
Duncan
the boat
staying
is
with
and
the
such.
van.
Yeah, I mean because it's I mean well that's gonna be up to you guys as to where Jamie or Jade and Mike and Duncan should be, but
Oh, that's right.
he at
'Cause
least
it's not
wants to
time
lead
yet.
you to where the boat is
Okay.
because the boat's on the
Okay.
opposite side of the village.
We can probably all go then, as long as no one's gonna break in. Will Duncan stay with the van?
I
Of
mean
course he
Duncan.
will. He's lazy as fuck.
I
It might
mean
be good to have somebody here with
Duncan is
our
lazy,
crew.
but Duncan's also gonna be like, if I don't know where the pier is and you guys get in trouble or come in hot, like I'm gonna be running around in the dark in a fishing village looking to help you.
I
Right,
can
but
stay with the
Professor
van if
Callan
you're
will-
worried about it.
Okay. Well, I was just thinking someone should stay, and we'll have Professor Callan and also Mike, who will know where to take you.
That's
I
fine.
mean,
I'll stay.
I can come back to the van after I see where the boat is.
Okay. No, I just thought it would be good to not leave it unattended. Is all.
That's
You
fine.
know,
I'll
Jay's got to
stay
stay
with
with
it.
Duncan at all times. And them's part of the terms, remember?
Well, just lock the van and we'll be quick.
Hey, Duncan, real quick. Do you have any extra cigarettes I could borrow, by the way?
Just a moment.
If you wanted. I think you could have some of those we got off the. Kind of look at Jade a little bit. Those guys from last night.
Just super inconspicuous.
Yeah.
How much does one flare weigh?
You're gonna have to look that up. I have no
Wow.
idea. But yeah, I mean, yeah, Duncan. He's gonna say he's actually running low on cigarettes, so he can't afford to spare any.
Yeah, it's fine. I'll just I'll take the ones from whoever.
They also had cigars.
Is
If
it-
you wanted those.
I'll take the cigarettes.
I did take one of the lighters. They each had a lighter, and I took one of them.
Okay.
I will pocket
Yeah, I just
one
want
of
the
their other
cigarettes.
ones. Actually,
Let me describe the village real quick for you guys. So the village is tiny. It is kind of split as far as the more inward homes are made of adobe. However, there are like kind of rows of like fishing huts that are like right over the water. Those are made of wood and quite rickety and such. Beyond the pre-ranging chickens and pigs, where they're getting dark out, most people are inside where you can see oil lamps kind of shining through the windows. However, as you guys, as Mike leads you through like these kind of, I don't want to say alleys, but that is essentially what they are, between like the huts and stuff. You guys will come across, the water, which is, as this picture depicts, like kind of murky brown. And you'll be greeted with the aroma of a pig that is over a fire, that you see like a kind of a shriveled man and a couple of fishermen kind of gathered around and imbibing in drink and talking amongst themselves. And Mike will say, the one with the pig's the one who lent me the boat. And Mike says, "Oh, hola," and walks over and the guy gets up and kind of dusts himself off as he's been sitting in the mud, and walks over, and they engage in some Spanish for a moment, and he kind of like gestures over towards this fishing like hut nearby, and Mike says the boat that you're gonna want is gonna be there. It's already gassed up, he says, and the motor should be good to go. He has a spare oar in there. Actually, he has 2 oars in there, just in case, for some reason, if something were to go bad. And there's also a jerry can of oil, should there be any issues with running out of gas.
Gracias, senor.
He says, "Sí, sí, señorita," and you know it's actually kind of hard to tell his features. I mean, the people around here are quite dark compared to some of the other Peruvians you guys have seen. You can tell that these guys spend almost all day in the beating sun.
All right, we've seen the boat.
Okay. Yeah. So Mike leads you to the like kind of that shack as I mentioned before, and sure enough, it's a metal boat. And I believe we'd already discussed that it can hold what 6 people. I think was what we said. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Something like that.
Yeah. So it's a metal boat. There's some signs of rust, but it's not like, you know, it's not bad by any means. Like I said before, this is your standard fishing boat through and through. The motor is there, with like the standard, you know, the pulley motor that you would typically have, and you'd have to steer it.
Everything look good, Mr. Thomas? 30?
Yeah, give me a boating motor, or yeah, like whichever one, just to kind of give it a once over. Anybody that has that skill. Okay, so we have Frank.
Nope.
Do we have
I tried
Reggie
that.
rolling?
I tried. Let me do it again.
Yeah, sometimes it
I
takes a
think
second.
wigging out.
He's a wigger.
Probably get like 6 rolls.
Mhm.
Yep,
Okay.
there it is. I took 2 looks at it.
Yeah, so Reggie,
Not
you're
impressed either time.
yeah, Reggie, you're definitely not impressed with this. I mean, you're kind of just like, this is a piece of shit boat, and I can't believe we spent 400 bucks on this. However, Frank, you specifically inspect the motor of it, and you can see that although yes, the boat has a little bit of rust, it is very well cared for as far as the motor. Like, this is not going to give out on you at a time of need.
This reminded me of P. Paul's boat.
Yes, another anecdote from the bayou, Duncan says.
Peepaw,
Yeah.
is that another friend of yours?
Yeah. No, P. Paul. P. Paul ain't no friend. P. Paul. Ain't no P. Paul is.
To Peepaw. I don't think I've ever heard that term before.
Are you
Make a loud
saying
token,
people?
Taylor.
Yeah, don't think I
Yeah.
follow.
You know, P. Paul. Your mom, P. Paul.
Mom on Peepaw.
Are you saying like your father?
Yeah. Old Pappy. Daddy.
Oh God.
P. Paul.
Peepaw.
Education has failed you.
I think I'm going to use that on my dad and see what he says.
All right.
He'll love you just a little more for it.
I don't think
So-
he'll know what it means, but he'll laugh.
So it's around 2100 right now. It depends on when you guys want to head out on the boat and what you guys want to do. If you guys wanted to wait till 2, you could.
How long will it take us to get
About-
there?
Probably an hour-ish. Hour and
Yeah,
a half,
but in order to
somewhere
get
around
there, we want to get there around 1 or 2, so leave it midnight.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Well,
Back to the van.
something else to consider. Is the moon out already?
Yes. However, there's also a thin mist over the water, as like the rain has turned into a drizzle.
Hey, Mike, why don't you ask him how long that mist probably gonna last?
All right. He talks to him. The fisherman kind of like strokes his like kind of his fuzzy face and like looks out at the water, and after a few moments he says something back to Mike, and Mike turns around and says, he'd say probably 3 in the morning.
Sound like sooner might ought be better. I mean, maybe not now, but
And we can always just wait in the boat quietly for the right time.
well, and does our hour figure, does that compensate for us turning the boat off and rowing for a bit?
Mm.
I mean, I was just guessing based on what Mike said. Maybe
Well,
2 hours.
You know,
No.
let
I mean,
me
I don't.
let me consider how long it might take us to do that.
Judging by where we are right
It'll
here
probably add
now.
about another 30 minutes. So you're looking at probably 2 hours in total before you're like at the dock.
Well, I reckon a little 2300 or a little after ought to be late enough, don't you think?
Mm,
Most of them boys ought to be in bed.
okay.
When if you're running a three-man watch, at what time do you think that you're changing watch?
Well, let's see. They probably eat around 1800.
I mean, I think we'd want to get right in the middle of a watch, right?
Well, that's why I'm thinking. God damn. Well, 1800, and then we'll finish up, maybe report for guard duty. We'll say at 2000, they start it. 3-man rotation. At what, 4 hours a man? Maybe about 2200. 23.
As Frank kind of speaks to himself in the darkness, Mike walks up to Jade and Mel and says, "I have good news."
Yeah?
Well, I told that our fishing friends here that we have time to kill, and they said that they have more than enough pig to share with all of us. And when I
Oh, that
told
would
them
be
that
lovely.
so yes, as long as you're okay with sitting in the mud. They don't have chairs, they say.
Okay.
Sure.
Nope.
Smells good.
Gotta plop
Frank
down in the
tried.
mud.
Frank's
wasn't a good service.
Frank's right now like like everyone walks away and Frank's just like in having that meme, of all like the
Yeah.
math symbols with the lady,
Does
Like there's cake in the conference room.
does
If I
Jade
connect the
have any?
circumference with going round and up, and then going to the square root of pi, then maybe, for example, based off the trajectory of the sun.
Does
God,
Jade
God
have
damn
any
it, I forgot about the
intuition
tangent.
about when they should leave?
You have to do it.
It has to be a binary question.
Does Jade think they should leave earlier than midnight?
That's not
No.
necessary.
I just want to
That
make
wasn't a
note
yes or a
of,
no answer.
It's kind of like before midnight or after midnight.
Well, it's not. I mean, it's not a concrete. I mean,
I thought you were supposed to say yes or no. I don't know how it works.
I mean, well, I'm sure. I mean, maybe if I looked up the rules, it says that. But I'm just trying to speak to like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, like I don't. This isn't a very difficult.
It's not going to change the
Like,
outcome.
yeah, like I mean, like,
Yeah.
because it's also like that
More
could
or
mean
less.
11:59 or it could
Right,
mean
yeah, I
12:01.
Well, I guess we should probably just eat the pig and then leave whenever we're done. We might want to have some padding on the back end, not cut it too close to dawn.
Mhm.
Night ain't too long.
Sounds good.
Okay. So you will note, for the ladies, despite the fact that you were told that there were no chairs, as soon as you both approach,
Aw.
The men make a big fuss, and the youngest one has like a rock thrown at him by like the elder guy, and like he like nods and like goes and runs off and fetches two like little stools for you. And the elderly men like make a big deal about like they pass around a bowl of water with lemon juice in it, and they show that you must dip your hands in that water to clean your hands before engaging.
Exciting.
Be very respectful about following the customs and very grateful for the stool.
Mm-hmm.
Really not necessary. Don't trouble yourselves. Oh, please don't.
And
trouble
they
yourselves.
I mean they talk quite animatedly in Spanish. And let me see. Let me do an IQ check for Jade. So Jade, you can tell that one, they're fascinated by Mel. They've never seen an Asian woman before. In fact, they've never seen a white person before. So this like rainbow assortment of people that have arrived. They're just like, this is amazing. I mean, the vibe that you get is that these guys likely have never gone probably a few miles away inland from this village ever. And
Okay.
I'll show them like stuff I have on me, like my prayer beads and things. I'll like bring that out. I'll like show them my hand wraps. I'll like engage, especially if there's kids there.
Mike will. Well, there are no kids out because it's nighttime.
Okay.
But,
it's night. Okay.
But Mike will be translating a lot of what they say, and the old men will remark that with some concern over Mel because they believe that her hands are broken. Because they will keep gesturing towards their hands that they don't work right because she has to bandage them.
It's good. See, I'll like unwrap it and then wrap it up, and I say it's strong. Strong.
They shake their heads at this. Jade, you also know that the elderly man is doing his very best to try and convince Mike and you in some level that you should marry his son.
Oh my god, I love it.
and he fetches his son out, and yeah, like it just looks like just dirty and stuff, but
no, thank you. No,
at least
no,
of age, like appropriate age.
So Mike passes along that you're not interested in the old man throws a stick at him and it says something along the lines of you can't do anything right.
If I may, I really wanted to take time to like do some Tai Chi meditation. Since they're so interested, could we like hybridize it to be a special meditation check and redistributing lounge tokens, but also as part of like a demonstration? So essentially like using the focus of my friends around me and the dangers ahead to like do it. I mean, I can go off somewhere and do it alone. That's fine. I just thought it might be interesting if they are really into Mel. Like, she could do a full 30-minute demonstration of.
So you will be penalized at doing this because the fact of that, one, you can't go off on your own because they are too fascinated with you to leave you alone. And two, that like right now in front of, like if you did this like right in front of them as they're eating pig and stuff, like this is gonna
wait
be
until we're like done eating. Yeah.
You'll get some penalties just because of the fact that like the meditation requires silence. These guys are not quiet. Like they are constantly talking.
Frank would probably discourage you from taking extra time after we eat to do it instead of leaving.
Well, if we're here, I'm thinking if we're here anyway for the time, we're got to be here for at least 30 minutes. But it's okay. I'd like to try. It doesn't have to be. It'd just be nice to be able to try and redistribute some. I've got 5 shadow tokens.
Shadow tokens.
Do you mind, Mr. Washington? I'll do a demonstration. Do we have time?
What time is it right now?
I would say it's probably around 2200 by the time you guys have finished eating the pig.
We have time. We have an hour, right?
You ought to make it real quick.
Just a quick demonstration. I think they'd really be interested in. I don't know. I think maybe centering myself might be helpful to all of us.
I mean, you'll note that they don't seem interested in it. They're playing cards right now, and they're trying to get Jade especially
You're
involved.
determined to not let me try to restrain.
Look, if you want to do Tai Chi on the Peruvian coast, you can. It's just that
if they're
no one's
so
going to care.
fascinated.
Right?
Okay.
You can certainly try.
Yeah.
I will
What is
attempt
this
to
crazy
join in
woman
on
doing?
cards.
What's that, Cletus?
No, I was just saying they're all just like, what is she doing now? She
Yeah, I mean,
closes her eyes.
Like I
Okay.
mean, as much as we make fun of Frank, like these are Frank's people. Like these guys are like Frank is considered probably a sage compared to these guys, like as far as like education and stuff goes.
Well,
You guys make fun of me?
Mel is notorious for being overconfident and misreading situations with people that she doesn't know well, so fuck it. While everybody's eating and, carousing after food is over and, they're playing cards and we still have time, Mel's just gonna get up and find, enough space out here in front of everyone who gives a shit and try her best to center into a meditative state. Also thinking that maybe they'll find it interesting as well.
Right. Give me a roll at a -2, and Jade, give me a carousing roll because you're playing cards with them. Also, anyone else that wants to play cards with them, you can also give me a carousing roll.
Meditation, and since I always forget this, and forgive me for asking, again, the regular use is a +1 to meditation. Does the secondary use also get that +1, or does that not apply for the secondary use?
I thought it was that there's no. I think we got rid of any penalty whatsoever because it's such a hard skill. However, you will be at a -2 because you have a lot of jabbering going on.
So overall,
right
regardless, -2. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay.
Sorry, guys. How'd
Yeah,
you try?
You tried.
So I will say this: as you practice your Tai Chi and you think about the coming moments and such, the sound of laughter and discussion and the crackling of flame next to you and it kind of flows with the water trickling. Just like lapping up against the coast and the sound of all sorts of bugs and frogs, everything. I mean, every sense essentially is kind of just immersed. You feel as though almost like you're just floating in it all, just fully submerged. And I mean, even though you failed at this role, I mean it's a wonderful sensation. It's almost intoxifying. Like you've like almost become one with the world around you in a way. Like the sound of Mike explaining to Jade that that's not how this card works, or Sullivan, trying to convince Duncan to just take one more drink, or Frank, who is still trying to work out the mental algebra that he's using to try and configure, how long it's going to take to get where and stuff. All of that is just kind of washing away, and it's being, muddled together with everything else. And as you're practicing your moves and such, you find that like maybe you've stepped out somewhere. I don't know, but you realize now that you're in the water, that you're like ankle deep in it. And as you open your eyes, you see suddenly you're not in the village anymore at all. And in fact, you are just standing in the water, in the vast ocean. There's nothing anywhere around you. You can see it's nighttime still, and you look up and you see the moon, but you also see a red star near the moon.
I'm gonna just kind of look up at it. I don't know that there's any fear necessarily. Is that star obviously it's not like a normal star. Like I don't remember that being there, do I?
I would probably need like something substantial from you, like an astrology
No,
check, if you wanted to actually
no.
know your
But
stars.
yeah, I'm just more thinking like, do I remember seeing a red star next to the moon?
Well, it's not
Um,
right next to the moon, but I mean, it stands
okay.
out. You know, like
Is it twinkling?
I would say it shines quite bright, um, like substantially so.
Does
And
it
then you hear,
reflect in the water?
um, I would say so, yeah. And then you hear, "Good evening, Miss Hendricks."
Whip around to the voice.
You turn around and you see standing on the water, just like you are, is the man, the same one who helped you from falling to your death, possibly at the inn.
It's you. Seen you before.
Indeed,
You you saved my life.
I will not always be there to do so.
Well, I'm glad you were there then. Where are we?
We are we are in a place where we should have been long ago. The time has passed, though.
Hmm. Like in another life long ago, or
Not that long ago.
does this have to do with our journey?
This has everything to do with your journey.
Are
You
you?
will beware those that carry the blood of the horned horse.
That's cryptic. The blood of the
Their
horned
queen
horse.
now knows where the king is. You will
Okay, now
find them
you're
soon when you meet the daughter of the traveler.
okay.
His time is almost up. You will have to carry on his burden.
Sorry, I'm just writing it down, Brett. I'm sorry.
I just love the idea that
Just,
Mel's just
well,
jotting down notes as quickly as
I
she
just don't
can.
want
Like,
to. I
yes,
don't
yes,
want
what's next?
to. I don't
Yeah,
want
yeah,
to forget it later, but I want to react in character, so it's
yeah.
hard to do that.
Luckily, it's recorded.
Uh, yeah, I'm not gonna have access to it though.
I know. I'm just kidding.
All right, now you're starting to kind of freak me out a little bit. Are these things that will make sense to me in time, or am I missing something?
I cannot say.
Oh, okay. Why not?
But understand this. Many hundreds of years ago, where we stand was land.
Oh, the Golden Fleet.
He shakes his head.
Oh.
I've already told you so much. Be aware
Well,
your travels have only begun.
but where do they lead? I mean,
It will lead
where
far
is
away
all
from
this?
where you are now. The places you've never been, places you could never dream of being. You will witness things that no human has seen in hundreds of years.
I mean, that sounds pretty amazing, but I don't understand. Who are you? I mean, why are you here? Why are you helping?
You may call me Sutherland.
Well, whatever your reasons are, Mr. Sullivan, I hope they're noble. Do you know the professor? Have you seen him?
You will find out soon.
Is May gonna be okay?
And as you ask these questions, you note that you're slowly sinking in the water. And you're now up
Please,
to your
is May
waist.
going to be okay? I'm just gonna yell that a little bit louder as I start to sink.
That is for you to figure out and to decide, Miss Hendricks. And as the water gets up to your neck, he stands directly over you, looking down. Goodbye, Miss Hendricks. Best of luck. And you
I'll
submerge.
see you again.
I need an immediate fright check at a -2.
Oh, yeah.
Because you have not woken up.
Oh shit balls. Oh shit
right.
balls.
You find
yeah.
yourself submerged, and you can see him silhouetted and kind of look like through the water. However, you it's almost as though like you are now like you're under glass, like you're slapping up to what he's standing on, but you can't get out.
I'm like clawing at it, like screaming. I'm trying to scream like, save May, or is she gonna be okay? Where is she? Like anything, and I just feel like it's just like bubbles. Like, yeah, god damn it.
But yes, you continue to fall down and plummet. And I need an HT roll from you.
All right. Stop doing bad, okay? She crashed by 1.
Okay. All right. So you break from this trance suddenly, to find everyone gathered over you. For everyone else, you watched Mel just slip essentially while doing Tai Chi, and then essentially just slam down, like face down into the mud. I need some type of physician roll or first aid from you, Sullivan, I would assume.
Yeah. Would you like physician or first aid?
It depends on how much, as far as like I mean, you could.
Do you want to
simply
diagnose?
Resuscitating her? Give me first aid.
Okay.
Like Mel wakes up and she just yells out the name Sutherland, and without even thinking.
Okay. So you will. Yeah, so you begin to provide first aid. You kind of like roll her over. She has mud kind of caked all over her front now, unfortunately, because she's slipped and fallen. She seems to have lost consciousness, and so you apply CPR. And when she wakes, she immediately throws up pretty much everything she's eaten. So Mel, you will lose 3 fatigue points.
Oh, you bitch! Okay.
Oi, lass.
What
Are you
happened?
okay?
Yes, I'm fine. I'm fine. Did I hit my head?
Well, I mean, you kind of. Your face planted right into the mud.
Okay, we need.
Have you been drinking here? Have you been?
No, I have not been drinking, Mr. Sullivan, unless you slipped me something again.
Yeah, maybe the same stuff that you slipped me.
Stop fussing. I'm fine. I'm fine. And then I just sort of get up and muck myself off.
Some of the fishermen run over and offer bark that's like to chew on.
Okay, I'll take a piece.
I mean,
thank you.
I don't think that'll help a lot, but it might.
Congratulations, you're now addicted to cocaine.
Not bad. It's
yeah.
No, it's good. It's
Peruvian marching powder.
Can I do like a diagnose or a physician roll or something?
Yeah, give me a diagnose. Very interesting, to Sullivan. This is something that doesn't make sense. You know that you're right. However, it looked as though she was drowning. However, she did face plant on the mud, but like wasn't on the mud long enough to like, inhale it. And I mean, you saw water get thrown up as well as the pork that she'd eaten. It looked as though she was drowning.
Are you sure you're going to be all right?
I'm fine, thank you, Mr. Sullivan. I'm really sorry to scare everyone like that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm fine. Out like to the crowd.
I don't think you understand. I'm saying whatever happened here, it's not going to happen when we need you to have your wits about you, will it?
No, I think I must have tripped and hit my head and just passed out for a moment. I'm fine.
Sure. All right.
It's time to leave, right?
Well, just
Soon.
one moment. Mel, now that you've gotten a moment to get your wits about you, you think on the experience you had, and although you haven't shared it with anyone, you remember the words of "Beware the horned horse." In your mind, for the briefest of moments, as you kind of look over at the water's edge, you see that there's no red star anymore. However, your mind thinks back to a nightmare you had almost a month ago now. A nightmare of a man wearing robes of some type and a large, like, skull mask kind of over it, shaped just like that of a horse, but it had a horn, or two horns emerging from it.
I'm just gonna shudder. And try to usher the party away from the crowd of people. Towards the van. We need to go. I think we need to go.
And I think that is where we will end the session. This has been The Missive, a GURPS actual play podcast created and developed by Brett Calhoun. Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you again.